Okay, so nowadays I feel like a lot of us have identity confusion. Like, for instance, I myself identify as a black male. Okay? Now, all of my kids are half black at least. Um, I just grew up around black people. You know what I'm saying? In the projects. Um, I was always in the projects. You know what I'm saying? That's just where I chose to be at. That's where my friends are. I got picked on a lot by white people for being Asian. You know what I'm saying? I was just very Asian looking with the bowl haircut, big glasses, really poor clothes. I just looked like some kind of little peasant rice worker as a young child. I didn't have any name brand stuff. But it wasn't even that. It was more just, white people just being mean, picking on me for being Asian. Uh, you know, these white kids usually came from the rich neighborhoods. Like Oprah Winfrey. She probably identifies as being a Caucasian female. But she's clearly a black female. And then, these millennials, like these motherfucking kids, they are born a man, but now they identify as a woman. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these girls are now, claiming to be studs or men, or having these sex changes. So I feel like it's a lot of confusion when it comes to self-identity. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of us are confused as to our correct identity. And this isn't just when it comes to gender or race. I feel like this also carries over to political. So I feel like a lot of us are misidentify our political parties as well. And so I try not to get like political, especially like in family dinners and shit. You know what I'm saying? I vote Democrat. My father, my brothers, they all vote Republican. I guess they feel like, they will to do it, whatever. My little brother, he's a doctor, baby brother, x-ray technician. My father, he's just like CW5 warrant officer, retired. And he went to work for Methodist colleges, counseling and stuff like that. But I can't understand why they vote Republican. So we argue. Because I feel like they have a false sense of fealty or loyalty to the Republican Party, or they are misidentified. They're confused as to their political alliance or what they truly are. Republicans are business owners that have employees, and they want to keep the wages down. They are very wealthy. It's capitalism. You're a capitalist. You benefit in a capitalist society only if you are a business owner and you have employees and you can keep their wages down and make them do all the work for nothing. So Republicans are basically slave owners. That's what Republicans are. A true Republican in a capitalist society is basically you benefit off of slavery. Bottom line, that's it. If you could use food stamps, if you think your rent's too high, if you are suffering financially, if you're in debt, if you got student loans, if you think your health care is too damn high, you can benefit from some kind of health insurance, Obamacare, whatever. You are a Democrat. You need to be voting Democrat. If you're a factory worker, you are a Democrat. You should not be voting for Republicans. If you do, you're an idiot. Because they want to keep your wages down. They don't want you to have pensions. They don't want you to have Social Security, Medicare, any kind of fucking government assistance. You get nothing. Republicans offer nothing. All they do is they benefit the rich, the wealthy. Donald Trump is a Republican. What did he do? He gave business wealthy corporations a big tax break from 35% down to 21%. And it's basically zero because a lot of these people got tax refunds and they're making billions. So I can't understand why, you know what I'm saying, you're a factory worker. I can't understand why anybody would vote Republican. It just blows my mind. And I know the reason why they vote for Republicans because they're racist. The only reason that white people really vote or you know, they go on the racist, they go with the racism shit because they feel like, oh, we need to be American or white nationalists. So it's, you know, when they start talking shit about the Mexicans, when Donald Trump was like, build a wall, make them pay for it, they're all rapists and murderers, you know, some Americans, they like that because they feel like, oh, yeah, we're going to keep American workers employed when the Mexicans come over, then it makes our wages lower because they'll work for nothing. So they will take my job from me and I'll lose my job because they're going to work cheaper. So my boss will fire me. So Mexicans aren't the problem. Your boss is the fucking problem. Your boss, who is white and rich and Republican, will fire you because he will pay Mexicans, blacks, Latinos, whites, anyone that will do the job cheaper. He will hire them. It's basic economics. That is capitalism. That's how you thrive in a capitalist Republican society as a business owner. You know what I'm saying? It's just basic. It's just common sense. Okay. So white people, they get this racism from their parents, or you know, they might learn it on their own. They might work for another white man. You know, this happened like during Andrew Carnegie Rockefeller, the steel plants, the railroad tracks, all that shit. When industrialism started, America was booming, and they had white people working there, right? So then blacks and the Asians came in. They started doing it cheaper. The white people got fired, or they could not get a raise, or it just wasn't. That's how racism got started. Well, racism was always around, but that's how it's proliferated. You know what I'm saying? Especially nowadays, they still use that same game tactic. Rich people, you know what I'm saying, in order to keep them rich and you poor. You know what I'm saying? Because this is economic war. It's not racism. Is just an illusion. The rich people want you to be racist. They want you to fight against each other so that they can keep you poor, because they want to keep the wages down. So they hire minorities at a lower wage, and then they say, oh, well, we can't give you a raise because I got people doing the job cheaper than you. So why would I give you a raise? Because I got Asians and blacks doing it already cheaper than you. Why should I keep you around? Why should I not fire your ass? Because I got people doing the same job as you, cheaper already. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to show you. Okay? So if you guys are voting, factory workers, you're voting Republican, and you think Donald Trump is some kind of save-all, he's going to make shit better, you're a fucking fool. You're an idiot, okay? You've been fooled, you've been played. He don't care about you. He don't care about white people. He care about rich people. Okay? Just look at this shit, man. First of all, I just want to point out one thing. When Biden came, he went to the picket line. He said, I support the union. You guys deserve a raise. He put on the union hat. He shook hands, fist bumps with union workers. He was there with Sean Fain. Like he, you know what I'm saying, is the first president to support a union since Franklin D. Roosevelt publicly. That says a lot. That's a real big thing. That's a historic moment because, I mean, nobody's ever supported a union as far as a president. So that's the difference right here between Biden. I think Biden is actually genuinely He's always been in support of unions. This ain't the first time he said that. He's always supported unions. He's a Democrat. Versus Republicans who have always been against unions. But the funny thing about this was Trump went to a non-union factory, spoke to non-union employees, and they were from Drake. They were like hired to be there. They were Trump supporters. There was like 10 loudmouth bitches in the goddamn audience, and you never pulled a camera back. You can't even see who's in the audience because there was nobody from the union. And they asked the people holding the damn union, pickets and the fucking signs, are you with the union? The reporters, and they were like, no, we were hired by Drake to be here. The whole thing was a sham. You know what I'm saying? This dude tried to make it all about himself. He's just a rich, pompous asshole. And he went out there and told them people, it don't matter how much money you make. Just endorse me. Nigga, fuck you. Fuck you, man. Get your go sit your ass in the jail cell with them Proud Boys somewhere. You rich motherfucking bitch. Anyways, and I digress. All right, so on to my next. Back to the issues.
He's a good man. I think he's a good man, but he's got to endorse Trump. You're going to get X dollars an hour. It doesn't matter what the hell you're getting an hour. Do me a favor. Just get your union guys, your leaders, to endorse me.
Yo, this motherfucker just literally said it don't matter how much you make an hour. Just vote for me. This dude is a fucking, he never said he support the unions. He just said, I support the working class Americans. This guy is so full of fucking shit. You vote for Trump. Middle class workers, if you're a factory worker, he don't care about you. His response, what he really wanted to say was take your asses back to work or you're fucking fired. That's what he will fucking do. If he was the president, he would fire those motherfuckers. Let me show you something else, man. This was the statement of Mike Booth, who is the vice president for the union. This is what he said about Donald Trump. Let me be blunt. Donald Trump is coming off as a pompous asshole, coming to Michigan to speak at a non-union employer and pretend it has anything to do with our fight at the Big Three. Where were rallies for striking workers when we were on the picket line? Because in 2015, they did a strike for 2 months. Trump was nowhere around. Okay? He don't support the unions. Trump is full of shit. He does not support unions. He doesn't like unions. He wants to keep the wages low. And basically he was trying to tell them to go back to work. He don't care about you. He don't care about you. If you are a factory worker, if you are a UAW fucking union participant, you shouldn't be voting for Trump. Because you are killing yourself. You know what I'm saying? He don't have the same values as you. He's a rich millionaire, and what they do to get that way is they hire people at the lowest possible wage, and they got to keep the wages down. So they trying to keep you basically at the bottom, starving. So I don't understand why, all these people voted for Trump. See, like I was saying, I don't understand why anybody vote for Trump. If you're not a business owner with employees, then you're not a Republican. You're just not. You don't know. You're confused because if you're not a millionaire, you're not making at least $175,000 a year, then you are a Democrat. And even if you make, it doesn't matter how much money, even if you make $1 million a year, you still can be a Democrat. Because voting Republican, you're just supporting the assholes. You're supporting the rich 5% of billionaires that want to keep the inflation, who don't care about the inflation. They want to keep the food, the rent, the cost of living, the The cost of housing is going up. Everything's going up. And they don't give a shit. And they want to keep the wages down. That is a true Republican. That's a capitalist society. Okay? And they try to scare you by saying, oh, if you vote Democrat, it's communism. No, it's not. You don't know what communism is. If you've been to North Korea, Russia, China, that's true communism. You have no freedom, no privacy. And if you've ever been there, you're probably not going to make it out. They will arrest you and you have no fucking rights. That's communism. You get no pay, you work for free. You work in order to fucking live. They allow you to live. They allow you to eat shit. And you work for nothing. That's communism. Y'all motherfuckers have been fooled, you being played, and y'all voting for these goddamn Republicans. And they are just using you and you being, you fucking dumb. I'm sorry. A lot of people that vote for the Republicans, they don't have any college education. They're easily manipulated. And they vote because of the racism. They go with the racism stuff. And it's easy. I understand why, uneducated people get trapped into the racism. They feel like they don't have any value. And then, anyone that's black or Asian can come, or Hispanic can come take their job because they'll do it for less. So they don't like them. Stay out of my country. Stay out of my neighborhood. You're gonna make my salary go down. I'm gonna lose my job. I'm gonna lose my house because you took my fucking job. Yeah, maybe that's true. Because, and that's how capitalism works. Okay, and it's not got nothing to do with racism. It has everything to do with your white, rich boss who don't care about your white ass. Okay? He will hire Asians, Mexicans, Latinos because they will work for less. And he will fire your white ass, even though he's white. There is no brotherhood. Like, you think just because you're white, you're going to get some kind of pass. No, that's not how it is in a Republican society and capitalism. That's not how capitalism works. Okay? It's rich versus poor. And capitalism is rich versus poor. Okay? But you guys think it's racism. And so they try to appeal to the racism. They'd be like, oh, we're going to build a wall to keep the Mexicans out because they're the ones taking your jobs. No, it's your white boss who chose to keep the wages low. He chose to fire your white ass and hire someone that's Asian or Mexican or black because he wants to keep the wages low. Because he's rich and you're poor. It don't matter what color you are. He just wants to keep everyone poor. He gonna hire the person who will do the job for the cheapest. That's how Republicans work. That's how capitalism works. If you're not a business owner with employees, then you're a Democrat. If you actually care about how much, or even if you're a business owner and you actually care about giving your employees a fair fucking salary or a livable salary, then you're a Democrat. But if you're just a rich, greedy piece of shit, then you're a Republican. If you want to keep the wages low and you want your employees to be living on the streets and they can't afford to buy the products that you make or live in the same neighborhood that you live, then you're a Republican. A lot of y'all confused, man. Y'all think y'all voting Republican, but your ass is Democrat. If you could use food stamps, if you could use better health care, more affordable, if you feel like your rent high, whatever, you need to be voting Democrat. And even if you're good to do, you still need to be voting Democrat if you care about your fucking neighbors. You know what I'm saying? If you want to keep crime down. Because what's going to happen is, the rent's getting high, Organized crime is starting to rise. And these Republicans' solution is we need to lock them all up and give them longer jail sentences. No, it's because the rent's too goddamn high. You can't afford the fucking food. It's becoming unlivable. And they're going to start robbing your asses. That's why all the shoplifting is going up. It's not because this is unprecedented. It's like increasing. That means these are people that have never done it before. So even like honest people are starting to resort to crime because they can't afford the cost of living. The food's fucking too high. The rent's too fucking high. They can't afford to fucking live, man. The wages are too fucking low because of Republicans. Because their solution, like Tim Scott said, is just to fire them, like Reagan did. And what did Jim Cramer say the other day? Oh, we'll fucking send the jobs to Mexico. This is what you need to do. If you goddamn send your factories to China or Mexico, you sell that shit in China or Mexico. Don't bring that shit over here. We're not going to buy it. It's called embargo. So, you know, saying these new candidates, I want to see, you need to be voting for somebody that's going to stand up for real, for the American people. If you want to take your factories over there to Mexico or China, you sell that shit in Mexico or China. Don't bring that shit over here. If you do, it's going to be a high-ass tax. You're going to wish you goddamn made that motherfucker here in America. You're going to wish you kept that factory here in America. Because it's going to cost you more to ship the shit over here, and we're going to tax your ass. We need somebody, we need political, you know what I'm saying, political candidates that are thinking of stuff like this, that will do stuff like this. You got these political candidates, they be talking about bullshit, no real issues, no real fucking solutions. I think that's a real simple solution. You want to take your factory to China or Mexico, you sell that shit over there. America is the biggest consumer in the whole fucking world. America makes businesses rich. We make people rich. If you can't sell it here, you're not gonna make no money. Your business, you think them Chinese people and them Indians and Mexicans are gonna pay for your shit? No, they can't afford your shit. So, all y'all people voting, thinking Trump or voting Republican, and y'all think, oh, he's some kind of save-all, they're gonna represent your best interests, and they have the same values as you, you are being misled, you've been manipulated, and you need to wake up, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to stick together. You know what I'm saying? It's rich versus poor. It's rich versus poor. This racism shit, you know what I'm saying? They use that, y'all, they're trying to appeal to y'all being racist or something like that, or like, you know, blacks or Latinos are the problem. No, and that's why I need to vote Republican, because, you know, Trump and these Republicans, they want to keep out, you know, they always talking about the border. They always talking about fucking sending minorities and shit to fucking New York or whatever, and complaining. That's all fucking Republicans do, is fucking whine, bitch, and complain. And I'm like, what do you fucking want? Goddamn tissue or tampons for your fucking tears in your vaginas, you goddamn Republicans. Always fucking crying about stupid shit. Always fucking, they are the biggest fucking pussies, man. They always fucking crying and fucking complaining. They're always on their fucking period, man. I get tired of these motherfuckers, yo. These rich fucking snobs. That's what rich bitches do. They always cry and complain and whining and shit. I can't stand fucking rich people, man. I can't stand being around them. They're so fucking whiny. Just like Trump. Trump is a fucking whiny bitch. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, back to my point. Yo, I'm serious, man. Yo, you need to stop voting for these Republicans, man. They don't care about you. You don't care about the working class American. They want to keep the wages down. They don't want to see you. They don't they don't have the same values as you. You know what I'm saying? And then they're trying to take people's freedoms too. Like, church and state are supposed to be separate. And there's a reason for that. You can't force your religious ideologies onto people like women and take away women's rights to abortion. That's a right of a woman. You can't tell somebody else what to do with their body. That's like, what if they started telling men that they have to be castrated? Or what if, it was against, what if, like, as part of the religion, it says you cannot own a gun. You ain't gonna go for that. But see, they're doing that now with the abortions. They're trying to tell, oh, you can't take a life or da-da-da-da-da. No, that's the separation of church and state for a reason. You can't force your religion onto somebody and take their freedom away. That's bullshit. Anyway, these Republicans are so full of shit. And they try to appeal to racism. And you need to stop all that racist shit, man. It's rich versus poor. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you don't see no Mexicans, blacks, Latinos, or whatever, Asians going around doing mass shootings, and doing all this Karen shit. That's only white people, you know what I'm saying? And it's because they're intimidated. They fear, you know what I'm saying, being replaced and losing their job by someone of like a minority. And that's why these white people are voting Republican, because they're afraid of being replaced by the minorities. And if you vote Republican, you will be replaced. Because like I said, it's rich versus poor. It's capitalism. They will hire the blacks, the Latinos, and the Asians that work for less, and they will fire your white ass. Your white boss will do that if you vote Republican. That's the whole lie. It's hypocrisy. And they try to act like they're racist. Oh, we're going to keep... Yeah, they probably want to keep the people out in the borders and stuff like that. They're going to do that because they don't want to pay for them to come in and pay for their housing and their food and put them on welfare. So, yeah, I can see Republicans, and that's a good idea. Keep the borders, you know what I'm saying, keep the drug traffickers, whatever. I can see that. But they're trying to use that and say, oh, I support, I keep all the minorities out, trying to make it look like they're racist or they support, Americans or white people or whatever. And it's not that. It's just that they don't want to pay for their housing. They don't want to pay for the food. They don't want to pay for their education. They're just coming over here and they try to look at them like, oh, they're freeloaders. But, it's actually hypocrisy because they want them to come. And they make it a big issue. They want them to come over here. They want to make it seem like it's a real big issue because they want to say, oh, they're going to come take your jobs. They're going to work for less. And then your white ass is going to be out of a job because they're going to take your factory job. And that's true. That's what Republicans want. That's what Republicans want. So they try to appeal to you that way, like, oh, you vote for us, we'll keep them out. No, it's not true. You'll never keep them out. They're always going to be here. You can't do nothing about that. But what you can do, if your white boss really cared about you, he would give you a raise. He wouldn't just hire someone that just worked for less if he cared about you. But under democracy, with a union, that's what happens. They will keep you. You know what I'm saying? You have rights. You know what I'm saying? But under Republicans, they don't want no unions. You have no rights. They take all that shit away. They will fire you. They will hire Hector, Tyrone, whatever, a minority to take your place. That's what Republicans do. You know what I'm saying? The proof is in the pudding, man. See, all of y'all voting Republican and shit like that, man. Y'all being fooled. Y'all being manipulated, man. You need to wake up, man.